In 2014, our goal was to educate and inspire the next generation of young Black leaders. Today, we are in search of the best to reveal the secrets to success. Our belief is that we should teach the young early the things that we learn late. Our lives are shifting the culture. Our lives are changing the narrative. These are the ShineHard Conversations.
What up, what up? Welcome back to a season 5 episode of ShineHard Conversations. You guys know me, I'm your host, Johnny Bailey. And this week I'm in Washington, D.C. with lifestyle connoisseur, entrepreneur, the founder of TPCurators, Berto Horne.
What up, though,
What's up,
man?
champ?
What's
How
good?
you feeling?
I'm good, man.
Welcome
I'm good.
to D.C.
I appreciate it, man.
So, a little bit about Berto. He is an ambassador for Mercedez-Benz USA. He's a mentor for junior achievement. And he also starred on The Graduate's ATL, which is featured on Aspire TV. I'm excited to talk to Berto today. He's gonna tell us more about how to work a 9-to-5 and take that leap of faith into your full-time passion.
Here we go.
And just drop some gems on how to partner with dope brands as an influencer, because everybody wants to get paid online. So without further ado, Berto, it's time to shine.
Let's do it.
So you're on Instagram, 40,000 followers. You're definitely making a statement in the influencer space as an ambassador and as an entrepreneur. People see that. Instagram is like boom in your face, but we don't always know how the journey began.
Right.
So tell us more about your upbringing and what life was like growing up for you.
Well, I'm from Detroit.
Okay.
West side of Detroit. Grew up with my mom in a single parent household. And we bounced around city to city, state to state growing up. And I just saw my mom always working. Always had more than one job, and she always put in time and energy with me, no matter what it was.
So what did you want to be when you grew up? Like, what was that vision?
I didn't know about what I wanted to do. I just knew I wanted to grow up as a man. Like, I wanted to grow up.
Yeah.
So that's why Morehouse got on my radar, because I was like, I went to Morehouse not for academics, not because of the business program, just because of the tradition and becoming a man.
Right.
I needed that in my life, and I knew if I went there, I can figure something else out. So I said business as a general major, and let me discover myself while I'm here.
Yeah, that's dope. I think the HBCU experience definitely helps us gain a sense of identity.
Man, it does.
And a sense of responsibility as to what it means to be a Black man or woman in America.
So
I would highly encourage, and I can understand exactly how that impacted you.
When I got to Morehouse, I joined this promo team called Hit Squad. You know, Hit
Squad.
No, for real, Hit Squad, man. These guys, they were the elite guys on the promoters in Atlanta.
Okay.
And everybody knew them, and they had every party. And I knew that was an easy way for people to know me on campus. And so I did that, was having a good time out there. I was selling the most tickets, stuff like that, meeting the most girls as a freshman and stuff like that. I had all these different type of tricks to get you to buy tickets. And that's how I became known on campus, was doing that. And I was always dancing. I had dance moves named after me. It was crazy, man. I had all types of stuff. I was definitely like the little baby Diddy on campus.
You was Diddy vibing?
No, for real. We was getting it. So I'm in the middle of it, and I wasn't doing too well academically. I had a great social life, so then I had to switch that over and get my grades going back right. But as my time doing that, I was a student ambassador, and I became a presidential ambassador.
Yeah.
So I am working with the admissions office. Here I am working with the president, doing events with the president of the college. Meeting other people. That guests are coming in. I'm hosting people.
Yeah, that's great for your confidence too. Like, okay, I can really make moves here.
So I realized that academically I wasn't the smartest in the classroom, but I knew a lot of times it's based off relationships with people who got stuff. So here I am as a freshman, and when I became my sophomore, I'm applying for internships.
Yeah.
So my sophomore year, I got a chance to get internships with Coca-Cola Foundation.
So you got your internship at Coca-Cola. You were working with Chick-fil-A.
Then I started working with Ciroc.
So you graduated Morehouse, right?
Yeah.
So let's kind of fast forward to you left Morehouse, got your degree. What were the first steps you took in your professional career?
So I took a job with Coke.
Okay.
I also was still working with Ciroc. I started off as an intern, personal assistant, became an assistant brand manager.
Yeah.
I was a wardrobe advisor for Commonwealth Proper. I did custom suiting. I got certified in tailoring design.
Okay.
So I probably had like 4 different hustles while I was at Coke. And that was my way of having flexibility at Coke. I didn't have to work from my office. I worked in the leadership program in sales and marketing. And I took that, and I then got promoted a couple years later into a marketing manager. So yeah, that's how I pretty much started off, as working with Coke. And I did that because with my personal brand, I started my junior year officially. I didn't know how to make money off of it. Like, I had this brand, I had the followers, I had people who was interested in engaging, and people knew me, but I wasn't making money off of it. So here I am getting exchanges. Hey, we'll give you this for this.
Right,
you do this, we'll give you this.
A bartering type of system.
I'm like, I can't pay bills with this. This doesn't like allow me to do anything, take care of my mom. So I had to figure it out. So Coke was that every 2 weeks I'm getting a check.
Right.
And I also set up a 401k because I knew I was gonna leave one day.
Right.
So that's the thing too, like good thing with corporate is you have a 401k, I maxed it out. I always put money towards it.
And they match that.
And they match it. And so the day when you leave, cash out with it too. And then you can use it for your savings and stuff. So
or you can transfer over to your next company.
You can, but I knew I was gonna eventually be on my own, so I knew I had a cushion. So when I left, I not only had money that I saved it on my own, but I also had my 401k
So
money.
you always knew you wanted to be an entrepreneur.
Oh, heck yeah, man. Like I did not want to, I only took Coke because of the flexibility.
Gotcha.
And I didn't know how to make money on my own.
Gotcha.
Like I literally was supposed to be at work or with a client at some office, and I'm in New York. And I'm like, I got my personal phone, my work computer, my personal computer, and I am finessing it.
You was living the best of both worlds.
Man, I was really finessing it. And I'm out.
And that's a common lifestyle, especially in like big metropolitan cities where we have our 9-to-5 corporate job because it's like the stability and the safety, but we also have our passion that we want to like pursue, or our side hustle that we're trying to grow into a full time. So you left Coca-Cola at some point. Talk about like what steps you took in order to take that leap of faith to your full-time passion.
Yeah, so March 16th, 2018 was the day I left, 1 p.m. Like I remember that.
That was
like,
this year, congratulations.
Yeah, I remember like it was like literally like yesterday. And before that, I always do my New Year's resolution like in November, like 2 months before I plan it out. And I said, okay, I need to downsize in my apartment. So instead of this nice building I'm living in, paying X amount of money, I need to like cut that down so I can save and put money aside because this day's gonna come. I need to build up this.
I sold my car. I live in DC, so I'm just metro everywhere now.
Yeah. So it was just a mindset of saying that, hey, prep yourself, prepare yourself, and letting my friends know too. Like I had to learn how to say no to things, and I had to start creating that mentality so people knew what was going on to them.
That's the one thing. Like we can always go back to our day job. It's a lot easier to go back to find 9-to-5 than it is to like pursue your passion. So I always encourage people to like be strategic about how you go about taking that leap of faith, but go for that because you only live once, and you're not gonna make it if you're always playing it safe.
And you have to also think, because as I left, and this is kind of moving forward, but as I left, I realized like, listen, as an influencer, I'm in Atlanta, so my market is not the same as New York, or maybe even in DC. And like I said, like you said, I have around 40 to 50,000 followers. So I'm also not 100, 200, this type of impression. So I'm definitely in a more niche space than a lot of other people. But at the same time, my relationships kept me productive. So I realized, hey, I might not be on the camera like this, but I can be behind the camera. So that's what encouraged me to start my marketing company.
Yeah, so let's talk more about The Perfect Gentleman and the marketing company that you're running.
Right.
Tell me more about the mission and like what's going on, services.
So The Perfect Gentleman is basically my personal lifestyle brand.
Okay.
Right. So I work as a lifestyle connoisseur, partner with luxury brands, showcasing their products, services through my lens. And then you have The Perfect Curator, which is my marketing digital company focusing on strategy and focusing on local businesses and helping them be the middleman to create the content. And rather than these big agencies like charging them a boatload of money, I come in and have a better solution and quicker results than other people. So
more personalized, curated touch.
And in the likeness of my brand, TP Gent, me, you get that as well to also push your brand.
Okay.
So it's basically like a Diddy pushing the Ciroc.
Gotcha.
So not only do I help you out behind the scenes, but then I'm also using your product
as an ambassador.
As an ambassador, since I basically set myself up for that. But it's also a good way to ensure them that it's my name is on the line as well because I'm working with you all.
Right.
So it's mutual. And then you have TP Gent Foundation.
Okay.
So now I've tailored and forced everything else that works with community to go around that.
So what type of initiatives are you guys doing with the foundation?
So we'll be working with 20 young men in Atlanta, the metropolitan area, juniors and seniors in high school and freshmen and sophomores in college. We'll be taking these individuals and getting them shirts, suits, ties, shoes, accessories, the whole nine, dressed to the T. We'll be giving them tablets. The graduating seniors in high school will get a computer for college.
Nice.
And we'll be giving them corporate tours, entrepreneurship tours, as well as corporate and then college tours for the high school students. And so showcasing them that, hey, you may just need to get a trade. Maybe just get your real estate license if you're 18 and you gotta go out here and start hustling now. Or have a side hustle while you're in school. So it's showing them multiple ways and also giving them workshops. So teaching them how to treat ladies, teaching them how to dress, business etiquette. And so it's basically breaking down and educating them, becoming the modern gentleman of this the 21st century.
So with the modern gentleman, Do you talk about any relationship advice? Because it seems like etiquette needs to come into play with
It
that.
does, man. I give them some of my tricks.
Yeah.
You know, I pull some tricks out my bag. You know, writing notes, you know, sending her a Starbucks card, you know, through a digital email saying, I know it's cold outside, but here's something to keep you warm until I see you tonight. You know, stuff like that. You can just set up, man. You know, it's all about the tips and just being conscious about how she may feel and think.
Yeah.
And you want to make sure you think about her reaction, the thought process, and, you know, I just give tips, bro.
Yeah, no, that's dope. I think that there's a lot of variety that you can add with the perfect gentleman because there's so many aspects to being a gentleman.
It is, and it's not just one way, and that's the modern gentleman. That's what I talk about. Like the perfect gentleman, no one's perfect, but one person, right? But at the same time, I strive to be perfect. Like I strive to be the best man that I can be.
Yeah.
I know I have flaws and mistakes,
We all do.
but at the same time, I'm open about it. Like I would say, I messed up, and that's what a man should do. He should say, I messed up.
Yeah.
You got me.
Those are two things that I think are important. One, being able to admit when you're wrong, and two, being able to have the tough conversations. A lot of people avoid the tough conversations. And I think that causes a lot of confusion and drama and really just leads to the destruction of good relationships.
Yeah, and that can be from a romantic or a business relationship.
Absolutely.
Like it goes both ways.
Talk more about like how you're positioning yourself to get these contracts, because everybody like on Instagram and social media like wants to be an influencer. They all want to get paid to post. They all want to say that I'm partnering with something, but it's kind of like mystified as far as like how people go about getting those deals. Mystify for us.
Yeah, man, it goes like this. Like I said, I'm not the LeBron James in this space, right? And I'm aware of that. At least right now, I'm not. So at the same time, I need to work with what I have and use my relationships with my strengths. So that's my city.
Yeah.
I'm in Atlanta. What's going on in Atlanta that I can be the face of?
Yeah.
So it could be from the High Museum of Art, which is our art museum in Atlanta. Okay, let me work with them. Mercedes-Benz. Okay, let me work with them. The headquarters are here. Oh, we got a new stadium coming. Let me be in that mix. You know, anything that we have going, the Super Bowl is coming up. Let me be in that mix.
Right.
So
you're just working the phones, or what, you pulling up?
Working the phones, but really knowing people who's in that space. My first deal I took was like in 2016. In January, I took a contract with a liquor brand, $2,000 for the whole year, 12 months.
What liquor brand?
IW Harper.
Okay.
Right? So I took a deal with them, great company, and then through Diageo.
Right.
And
That's
then
like
Taylor,
the major,
right, that's the portfolio parent company distribution. But Taylor Agency based out of New York did the contract with me. First time I ever had time I had a contract. I'm like, $2,000? Of course. It was $1,000 for myself and $1,000 for expenses.
Gotcha.
And so I didn't.
Term?
So I just had to do like 5 posts throughout the year. And
That's love.
yeah, it is. But now I look at it, I charge like 25 to 3,000 like per month, like for something like that.
Gotcha.
Like it would have to be, instead of 2,000, that's like we're talking about.
The price has gone
up. Yeah, it has gone up. But it's like I charge much more than that now. But looking at it, it taught me like, man, okay, I did that, I executed, and they loved me, and it was a low budget, but it worked well. But that same agency also hit me up for Mercedes-Benz. That same agency also hit me up for the Crown Royal deal.
Gotcha.
So me taking that low deal and me not saying, man, no, I'm too good for this. You know, oh, what? I was excited about
At the
it.
time, $2,000 seems like a come up. Like,
Yeah, it is.
Post, like you're gonna post anyway.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah.
right? So, but it's that relationship I built with that agency is what I'm getting to, and saying that, bam, that happened, and the Mercedes-Benz happened. Because they would say, hey, we need someone to go to the Masters. Well, are you able to make it? Sure. Well, instead of you driving your own car, let's give you a 2017 Cabriolet, right? S63 AMG joint, like
Nice.
drop top, and let you drive down there to the Masters yourself. So I did that. Oh, you did that very well. Okay, now we have the stadium that's about to come
Okay.
up. Can you be an influencer for the stadium
You
in your
become a
own
go-to
city?
guy.
So, but that's because they know who I am.
Right.
So it's a matter of doing something, building a relationship, doing a job well, following up, doing a recap.
Do you have any mentors?
Man,
And
I have.
who are some people that have really invested in you and helped you along the way so far?
So there's 2 things. I have mentors and I have sponsors. You know,
Yeah.
I have people who are able to call shots for me, which are like my sponsors. And I have mentors who are people in different spaces. Rodney Bullard at the Chick-fil-A Foundation. He works as the VP of Community Affairs and ED of the foundation itself. And from Glenn Jackson at Jackson and Spalding to Myron Gray, he just retired, but he was the president of North America operations from UPS in Atlanta at the headquarters. Well, these are just like checkups. Hey, every 6 months, let's sit down and have lunch.
Absolutely. And this whole platform is really a virtual mentorship program, like this conversation series, the conference, all the work that we do to me is like a means of transferring knowledge and also like recognizing our Black leaders because we have to control the narrative.
We do.
I'm super passionate about the work that I do, and I think passion leads us to our purpose.
There we go.
And I can tell that you're like taking strides into a greater purpose. So tell us, what is your passion, and maybe when was that moment that you knew?
My passion is people, man. My passion is being a people champ. Muhammad Ali is my favorite athlete. Like, I enjoy seeing someone do something that's bigger than them, you know, and I realized at a young age, man, my mom always told me, like, Berto, you're not better than anybody. Nobody's better than you, but you're gonna be somebody. And I was like, that always stuck with me, right?
You ain't better than nobody, but ain't nobody better than you.
No, but you're gonna be somebody. So I always knew I was gonna be somebody, I was gonna do something, but always, also just internally, I was like, man, I love being around people. That community piece really stuck with me because I'm like that mentorship.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't have a father in the household growing up, so I didn't get a chance to have that. You get what I'm saying? So I want to be that person to motivate those students.
Yeah, I think that's what legacy is all about. At the heart of it is like, how many testimonies do you have with your name attached to it?
Because I think about it, I said, man, I want to have internships, not only just because of the work, but the mentorship, because I'm like, if I was to leave tomorrow, when people know me as just a lifestyle connoisseur, when people just know me for being cool and joking and having fun, or they knew me and said that, man, because of you, I was able to take the leap of faith. Because of you, you helped me not do X, Y, and Z, and I did this instead. Or you saved me, or you helped me out. That to me is what I would love for people to hear about me if I was to leave tomorrow, and for my mom to hear.
So as you've been trying to pursue this purpose to make change in people's lives, what's been the greatest challenge for you as a young Black man going to an HBCU, working for a major corporate company, and, you know, having a family where it's just you and your mom? Like, what's been the biggest challenge for you?
Certain things that just in life that you just have to like face to face, and it was just growing up without a father, really. You know, so not really a challenge or a regret or a failure, but it's just like the communication. You know, I wish that maybe down the line that may happen or so, but just like bridging that gap and creating that line of communication again with him, maybe. Because I mean, he's still here.
How's it affected you?
I mean, look at my business. Like, look what I'm doing now. What is it called? The Perfect Gentleman. What am I doing? Working with students. What am I doing? My mentoring. So it has also motivated me. So it's not necessarily a failure, you know, because a lot of good has came out of it. But at the same time, it's like, you know, you only have one.
Do you feel like everybody has a dream?
Everybody has a dream. Yeah, everybody has to have a dream. You dream every night. You have things that you think about.
So what separates the people who realize their dream and the people who don't?
Their motivation is not based off of somebody else's opinion. You know, a lot of people you can say, man, I'm thinking about having my own hair shop. Girl, why would you do something like that? Everybody does hair. You're like, yeah, you're right, I'm not gonna do that. Well, maybe something else. You know, and it's just that small little opinion that just changed your whole trajectory. But, you know, people, the difference is it's a planner. I mean, in my bag right now, I have a journal, and I've had it since November 2016. You know, and I always update my journal, and I always write in my journal and say what I'm feeling, what I'm thinking. And if I have an idea, I said it earlier, man.
Write it down.
Write it down, but also, you write it down, but also speak it out. Wow, manifestation is huge,
All my ideas are in my memos. They stay in there. If I get it, I write it down.
You write it down, and I also talk about it. My girlfriend knows it, and my friends know it. If I have an idea, you're gonna hear it. Like, no matter what you call me about, what you want to hear, if I have an idea, eventually we're gonna get to about, I got an idea. And that's just my way of saying that. If I can believe in it, and if I can say it out loud, I can actually do it. And
what inspired you to succeed?
Man, my mom, man. Like I said, I seen her do so much, and I'm like, I want to make sure I can take care of her.
I actually did a post on Instagram a couple of days ago, and I was encouraging all the community to make a pledge as to what they would do for the culture in 2019 and beyond. And it had like 300 comments and a lot of engagement. I was really impressed because I didn't expect that to be such a positive exercise. And we talk about culture on this show, about what frustrates the leaders about today's culture. But I also want to ask, what is your pledge to the culture in 2019?
Well, I comment on that post, and I talked about my foundation. I talked about me just being able to give, you know, just be that beacon of light, man. The familiar big brother, that mentor to these young students. Because I realized, man, all it is someone just grabbing you around the neck, around the shoulder, and just saying, like, come on, man, like, come over here and like hang out with us. And, you know, just showing them there's other way to be cool and Black. You know, because everything is geared towards, you know, being an athlete, being an artist.
Culture,
which, granted, like I grew up in, and I appreciate it and I love it, and I'm still with it today. but there's other ways to be cool and black. Like the guys who's sitting in those front seats next to those players, they're not on the court, but they're still sitting there for a reason. Like, why is that? What do they do? So my call to action for 2019 is to pour in again, like pour in more.
What was the first book that you read, and what is a book that you're reading now or have read recently that have like really impacted your life?
I mean, now the books that I read are stuff that like mentors and people give me. So lately, Glenn Jackson, he has a book called Preeminence, and it just talks about like the cutting edge things of just being that premier, like higher, advanced, like the creme de la creme, like of like what you do.
So there's a ton of like millennials, Gen Zers, and even like our elder seasoned peers that watch this show and they want to understand how to work a 9-to-5 and take a leap of faith to pursue their passion, or maybe they're popping on social media and they want to figure out how to leverage their influence to get paid. What advice would you give to our viewers and the next generation about how to succeed in your space?
I mean, create your own lane if it's not one already there for you. Another thing that I talk about is the 10 by 10 by 10, right? So it's like 10 feet away, I judge you off your appearance. 10 inches is the handshake, which is the grooming. And then there's the first 10 words out your mouth. So I realize a lot of times people will judge me off of that, and I'm a well-dressed guy, but at the same time, they may not know me. So I need to work my way backwards and get them to know me from the conversation. And then they get a chance to see where I am over a period of time, and that's really your true brand. And so that's how I've been able to work in my space. So create your own lane, work in that space, and also do your homework, do your research. Don't just think because people have a lot of followers, they're making money off of it. A lot of people aren't. When it, like I said, use your local resources. So if there are brands and companies that are in your area, it may not be like a Chanel or a big national or a boutique brand, but find something that's in your town that you can work with, that you can have influence. Because usually most influencers have the majority of their followers are from their city they live in.
And there's local businesses. One thing that Issa Rae said is like, don't be so obsessed with trying to network up. You can also network laterally and find other organizations and companies that are doing similar things, clothing brands, all types of brands and companies that will want to partner with someone like you.
So, but I will say this one tip I will give to you all is to be useful. A man or a woman who's not useful is useless, and therefore they have no use of using you. So make sure anything that you do, you add value to it. And I think that's the biggest advice I can give even anybody. Add value, add value, add value.
Absolutely. And I look forward to having you add value to our platform in the
future,
sure,
man.
As well as this conversation series. We have our annual summit coming up following next September. And we have a ton of just networking events, charity events that I would love to get you involved in. And so I really appreciate you coming on the show today,
man. Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me.
So let everyone know how they can find you online, anything that you have coming up.
So Berto Horne, you can find me on Instagram, any social media handle at TPGENT, which is TPGent. You can easily go to my website to find them all at tpgent.com. And I look forward to connecting with you all.
Man, you guys can find me, Johnny Bailey, at Johnny Bailey. Of course, follow ShineHard Fam at ShineHard Fam on Instagram. Visit the website, shinehardfamily.org. If you guys want to get involved, please hit the website. All the information is there. Our mission is to close the racial wealth gap, and we do that through mentorship, transferring knowledge, and leader collaboration. I'm extremely committed to that, and the guests that I have on our show are extremely committed to that as well. So if you want to get involved, hit the website, and we'll talk about it. Right here, subscribe. Shine hard, baby. Love you guys. See you next week. Peace.